What's up, everybody? Mike here, and in this video I want to go over and talk about some new details that have come out from Gamescom 2023 about Black Myth Wukong. This most anticipated game by a lot of people, myself included, that's coming out summer of next year. And we got about 10 things to talk about here that maybe you didn't know, maybe many of you guys didn't know, so let's jump into it. First thing is about weapons. So with this game, it features a single weapon only called a baton, and the game gives you options to increase the versatility of this weapon. You can extend the length of the baton, change the grip, and even imbue it with elemental enchantments to unleash devastating damage to your enemies. That's one cool new thing that we learned about this. So unlike, this has been confirmed to be a Souls-like as well too. So unlike, other traditional Souls-likes or Souls games, which usually have a variety of weapons that you can utilize in the game for different playstyles and builds, this is just going to be the one weapon here. So you have to get used to that. Next up, stances. So players get to choose from 3 different stances: smash form, pillar form, and thrust form. Wukong changes the grip on the baton depending on the stance. Each stance allows for a different kind of playstyle with distinct animations and combos too. Smash form, well, is about, kind of what you figure, smashing the hell out of your enemies with the long end of the baton. Pillar form is about defensive playstyle, and thrust form is about breaking defenses with charge attacks, so switching between styles when needed will be vital to successfully defeating enemies and bosses in the game. Then there's special abilities. In addition to transformation abilities, you will have other skills to use and can have 4 equipped at any given time. These skills are also on a cooldown timer, so you can't just use them back to back, spamming them anytime you want. There is a Ring of Fire ability to help create some distance between you and your enemy by creating a circle of fire around you. You can also stun an enemy using another special ability, and then there is another that allows you to duplicate yourself like you are Naruto using Shadow Clone Jutsu. The final game is supposed to have 72 different abilities, which will be exciting to experiment with upon release. Next up, bosses. So obviously, like a lot of Souls games, you're going to have a variety of bosses in these type of games. A lot of cool boss designs, things like that. In the preview footage, a few bosses were shown off, and it's very clear that they will be very hard to fight. Each boss will have its own attack patterns and devastating moves to make short work of you too. So you will need to, look for openings and other opportunities to deal damage and be patient in these fights while learning from your mistakes if you fail, so you have a better chance at victory. Bosses can also transform into something more deadly as part of the second phase, which gives them entirely new attacks, causing you to change up your strategy on the fly and how you deal with them. Enemy types. The Gamescom trailer showed a better detail of enemy types and variety, where we will encounter enemy fodder, fierce beasts, and more. It was reported by IGN that this game will feature over 100 unique monsters and enemies for the final release to retain a sense of excitement throughout the adventure. That sounds awesome, and I really hope they can keep their word on this. Seriously. Level structure. When it comes to level design, Black Myth Wukong will be a traditional RPG where players get to explore one curated stage after another. What I'm hoping, though, is that these stages will interconnect in some way similar to like Souls games, with optional side paths and side quests to do for more rewards or unlocking new abilities. Hidden bosses, kind of going off of my last statement. It seems venturing off the beaten path will reward you with optional boss fights. An example of this is the one with Poison King, where a player finds and fights a giant scorpion. In this fight, you will have to juggle, being poisoned or avoiding being poisoned if possible, and making sure you have enough healing items, etc., to get through it. Optional bosses will be comparable to main story bosses, either being more challenging or about the same as main story bosses. Then armor. One of the newer things we've got to learn about is players will have the option to switch between different headgear, torso, gloves, and footwear independently to create the perfect armor for your character. Some armor will give you small bonuses, such as like 5% more attack power or 10% more defense against certain damage. This may change in the full version, so keep that in mind. Shrines, essentially the bonfires of the game. Resting at shrines replenishes your HP, items, and saves the game. You can also level up your character at shrines as well. It's not fully clear how the skill tree works in this game yet, but hopefully it allows allows for decent build variety, especially considering that there's only one weapon you're using and 3 different stances with that weapon. So I'm hoping there's like a lot of variety in the skill tree to kind of build around your, different play styles. New biome. The Gamescom trailer showcased a new biome towards the end where the moon goes from normal to turning red, almost similar to Bloodborne, and Wukong is fighting a parasite with large tentacles. This could be a sign of more of this occurring during the game in other areas to show how hostile or threatening an area can be. All in all, this looks like it's shaping up to be an even better game than maybe many of us, including myself, thought originally. I hope this new information about Black Myth Wukong was helpful, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below about what you think of this game. I know for me, it's still my top most anticipated game of 2024, unless something else comes along to match or outshine this game. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.